everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia and I love nail polish. And I have been active in the nail polish community online for a little over a year now. And I decided that it would be fun to start a channel so that I could show off more of what I've been doing with my nails, and as another way to connect with more people. And especially as I've recently been getting more into learning how to make the most use of the nail polishes that I already have in new and interesting ways. I've been very active in the We Got Polish at Home community on Reddit, and one of the things that we do on there is take a look at upcoming monthly drops to see if we do dupe some of them. And so with that in mind, this is my first time doing this as a video, so let's see how this goes. The first polish that I'm going to try to dupe for this month's HHC, or Hella Handmade Creations, is the one from Crack Polish called Seattle Freeze. On the website, it's described as a brown blue with blue and purple shimmers. So as I'm looking at the pictures here, I'm seeing a number of different things, trying to see what the opacity is like, and also seeing that it is brown blue, and so I don't really have a whole lot of browns in my collection, so I'm really starting off on a very ambitious one here. So let's see what we do. For this first attempt, I'm going to start with one that I recently acquired from also Crack Polish called Liquid Smoke. This was from their most recent creams, crellies, and jellies collection. So I really like this one a lot, this Liquid Smoke. I haven't worn it a whole lot just yet, but I do love that it's a jelly that I can use for times when I want like a dark sheer look, but not necessarily like dark black. So let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna start with this. And looking at the opacity for this so far, I think what I might actually do for this one is to build it up in 2 coats first, so that I have at least a little bit of a base. I'm almost wondering if what I might do is like a jelly sandwich. For those of you who aren't familiar with jelly sandwiches, that's when you take 1 coat of a jelly and then you put something in the middle like a flaky or glitter, and then you put the jelly on top of it again, and it gives like a really nice like pond-like look. So that's a jelly sandwich. In this case, I'm gonna do another coat of this and see what we've got. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. And as this is drying, I think the next part that I'm going to bring in will be the shimmer. So again, this one, Seattle Freeze, is being described as a brown blue with blue and purple shimmers. I've pulled from my collection 3 different shimmer polishes that I'm going to try out with this. 1 or 2 of these are blue, 1 is purple. So I hadn't even thought about this when I pulled these out, but I'm thinking that it could almost be the case that depending on how this looks, I want to see if I can do a combination of these. We'll see. But I'm going to go for I'm going to start with this blue one here from Bee's Knees Lacquer called Nosferatu. It's actually from, if you see under there, it's from their Nosferatu collection that came out, I want to say last fall, December-ish, because I remember Nosferatu came out on Christmas Day, and I was telling my husband, it's not Christmas without Nosferatu, and he's like, it kind of is. That's you go enjoy your creepy movie, and I did. But so we got Nosferatu here. If you could see it's hard to see the fill line on this at this angle that I've got here, but this one definitely is starting to have a fill line because of how much I I love it, and not just for the name, but also you'll see how this goes when I put it on here. So let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's do another one of those. See, this is, I love it when this happens where you know, sometimes when I'm trying to do things, I have this idea, like a vision that's in my mind, but then I swatch it out and it doesn't actually turn out to be anything close to what I was hoping for. But in this case, I mean, and I'm, like I said, this is my first video, so I'm still getting the lighting and everything down and figuring that out. But hopefully you can see here that what we've got, it's looking pretty good. It's got, you know, a good gray base, or not gray, like a grayish brown base. Okay. And we've got some blue and purple shimmers going on. All right. I think now that I see how well Liquid Smoke has been doing, I'm going to do 2 more dupe attempts here. I'm going to possibly do these in tandem to help with drying a bit. So for my second attempt, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stick with Liquid Smoke and do, I'm going to build this up in 2 coats again. I also have pulled out from my collection a black jelly. This one is Emily Damali Sheer Tint Shadow. I use this a lot with my dupe attempts because of just how versatile it is with making something a lot darker when I need it to. Or I would say not even like a lot darker, just a tad bit depending. And because it's a jelly, you can build it up however much you need to make it as darker as needed. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, that's, looking at this now, I don't know why I thought this one would be a good idea. Sometimes I just do things for science, and so I don't know how this one's gonna go, but we'll just see how it works. But so far, I would say this, the number 1 here is the best contender. Okay, going to add a second coat of Liquid Smoke over here. And put that to the side. And then I'm also gonna add a second coat of the Emily Damali Sheer Tint Shadow. Again, I can already tell that the black jelly dupe is not going to be nearly as close as I want it, but we're just gonna go with it. And I'm also gonna start layering 1 more over here because I want to test out both the blue fancy gloss and the purple fancy gloss that I have. So let me bring these into the fold here. So I've got 2 of these like glowy toppers from Fancy Gloss. The blue one is called Ocean Quartz, and it has not just like blue shimmer tint in it, but there's even I don't know, there's more texture in here. I think it comes from possibly the glitter that's in here compared to the purple shimmer I have, which is Fancy Gloss Hypnotism, which, as you can see, very glowy, very purple, but it doesn't have that same texture that's in there. So before I do that, I'm gonna add 1 more to my second Liquid Smoke. Gonna let that marinate. Okay, and so now we're gonna go back to these right here. For this one, I am going to add on my Ocean Quartz and see, because with this, I want to compare it to how the Bee's Knees blue turned out. Like, I'm wondering, will I get more of that glow that I'm looking for? So let's see. Oh, okay. That's cute. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm looking at my camera here to see if this is picking up, and yeah, while I did think that the Bee's Knees Nosferatu at first over Liquid Smoke was going to be the closer one, I'm thinking now that the Ocean Quartz seems to more closely match what I'm getting from the swatch photos on the HHC website. Okay, that's really cool. And so at first I thought I was going to do Nosferatu over the black, but now I'm gonna swap that out and do Ocean Quartz over here, just because I see that Ocean Quartz is giving just a little bit of I don't even want to say a stronger shimmer. I mean, in some ways, yes. I think it's giving more of like an ocean blue shimmer. I mean, and I'm saying that because the name of the polish is Ocean Quartz, but like also Nosferatu is a darker one, which I love, but it's just a little bit different. So let me see how Ocean Quartz looks over the Emily Damali Sheer Tint Shadow. Okay, that one it's not bad. I could, in theory, see myself wearing this one at some point as well. It's just not for the purposes of this dupe. I would say so far, this one here, again, that's 2 coats of Liquid Smoke and 1 coat of Ocean Quartz is the closest one. The last one I want to do right now is going to be this, the 2 coats of Liquid Smoke plus 1 coat of Hypnotism. Let's see how this goes. Okay. You can see this is very purple. Oh, okay. Not bad. So, okay. This one is, it's, you know, I did this one because the description said that it was a brown blue with blue purple shimmers, and you know, obviously with this one I'm getting the blue. As I'm saying this, I'm gonna set up my final attempt here. I'm gonna talk through this just so I can get one more of these going. What I'm seeing here with the Hypnotism one that I just did, that's good. And I do like that I'm getting some purple shimmer here without it being too overwhelmingly purple. So what I'm gonna do right now is to do the last one, which is gonna be 2 coats of Liquid Smoke, followed by 1 coat of Ocean Quartz, because like I said, I do want to get that this shade, this particular type of blue in there, also with that intensity that's there. But I do notice that the intensity of Ocean Quartz is not the same as the intensity of Hypnotism. By the way, I apologize if you hear some dog barking in the background. That is my next door neighbor's dog that barks so loud you can hear it through my house walls. So let me do 1 more coat of Liquid Smoke, and I'm really curious to see if this will give me the result that I'm looking for. Ideally, what will happen, or what may happen, what I hope will happen, is that we get this plus that is going to equal who knows. So I'm just going to give this a moment to dry a bit. Okay, and now let's put on the Ocean Quartz. And as this is drying, I'll say, you know, as I set out to do this, I wasn't quite sure how much time I would end up spending on each one. You know, it's one thing when you do your dupe attempts yourself on your own and you're not timing anything and the time just goes by. And I thought surely that's just gonna be like, I don't know, 5 minutes for 1 polish. But I'm looking at my timer, it's almost 15 minutes and we're just on the first one. But you know what, I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I hope that all of you who are watching are enjoying this and seeing my thought process as I go along. Okay, so last one we're gonna do here. I'm gonna add on one coat of Hypnotism. Ooh. Okay. Yes. That is exactly what I was hoping for. And again, I'm not sure how much you can pick this up on here on camera because of how subtle the purple is compared to the blue shimmer. But what I'm seeing in person is very, very close and similar to Seattle Freeze. You've got the dark brown base with like sheer jelly consistency to it, followed by a blue shimmer topper and a slight hint of purple. So for any of you who are looking to dupe cracked polishes, Seattle Freeze from HHC coming up, my best final option is going to be 2 coats of cracked polish liquid smoke, followed by 1 coat of let me put the caps on these so I can put them down here. 2 coats of liquid smoke, followed by 1 coat of Fancy Gloss Ocean Quartz, and 1 coat of Fancy Gloss Hypnotism. Or like we always do in the We Got Polish at Home subreddit, know that if you don't happen to have these particular polishes in your collection, you can absolutely try this with whatever type we have here. So in this case, I would describe this as a dark brown dusty jelly, followed by a blue, an aqua blue shimmer, and then followed by a purple shimmer topper as well. On to the next one. The second polish that I'm going to try to do for this month's HHC is Cuticula's Caramel Apple Pop, which is part of their Halloween offerings. It's their Halloween offering for this month. It's described as a green apple base with orange, yellow, gold, lime shifting crystal flakes and orange, yellow, gold multi-chrome flakes. All right, this does not surprise me because Cuticula is very well known for their flakes, and I want to see what I can do to try to dupe this one. I pulled out from my collection Gin and Berries Might Be a Gecko this size, which is, it's not exactly the same kind of apple green base that is in Caramel Apple Pop, but it's the closest one I have in my collection. So to get things started, I've done 1 coat so far of this on my swatch wheel, and I've pulled out 3 different like flaky polishes that I'm gonna try to use to topper with this. And I'm thinking that I may want to do almost like a jelly sandwich with this as well. So like put this one on here and then another coat of Might Be a Gecko this size. So, and I've also pre-set out one here in case I want to combine these, and let's see what happens. So the first one I'm gonna put on top of the Gin and Berries is KB Shimmer's Take It or Leaf It. This is a relatively newer one in my collection, but it's one that I've been enjoying using quite a bit so far this season as we've been transitioning more into fall. You can see here it's very a lot of these like copper like flakes. So let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more on there. As I'm looking in the at the photo of the Cuticula one, it's, you know, if you've ever owned any Cuticula polishes, you know that theirs are just very jam-packed with flakies in the best possible way. So I know that what I've got going on here is not at all going to get to that that level of density and opacity just yet, but I do want to just see where we're going to get with this and which of these polishes that I have may end up being the closest options. Okay, so the next one here that I have is Polish for Days Jack-O-Lantern, which according to the label came from from July 2023, Polish Pickup Rewind. Now, I personally only started doing my nails in July of 2024, so I know that I definitely got this in a D stash somewhere. But this one, I would say it's very similar to the KB Shimmer with the flakes, but you've got more of like orange predominant and flakes with some gold in here as well. So this is what I mean when I said that, like, it may be the case that I want to layer some of these and see what happens. Okay, so one difference I'm noticing here is that the polish for days does have a bit more of an orange cast to it, which you can see along the stem of the brush, whereas I can't remember if the KB Shimmer is advertised as a topper or not, but you can see here on the stem of the brush you're not getting any kind of color cast in the background. So I'm not mad at it. It's not, because of that orange cast, it is leading me in a little bit of a different direction from the caramel apple pop, but well, as always, we'll see what happens. And the last one that I've pulled out from my collection for this is Monarch Lacquer Fireside Secrets. I tend to be a seasonal polish wearer, and so because of that, I mean, this is like fall in a bottle right here. This is a polish that I don't think I've worn since it felt like fall the last time, or winter possibly. So it's been a while since I've seen this one, but oh yeah, you can see how this one has even more of like pink, gold, some brown flakes. Let's see what we get there. Oh, okay. This one, it's very, if I were to describe the difference between what I'm seeing with the Monarch and the KB Shimmer, I'm noticing that there's a little bit more of a gold glow that I'm getting from the Monarch. So, okay, what I want to do next is start putting, I'm going to use the KB Shimmer one here and see what happens as a test when I try to do a jelly sandwich out of this. So I'm going to put another coat of the gin and berries on top of that. Okay. So yeah, so that one did cover up the copper and gold in a way that makes it so that you're not really seeing as much of it popping through like you did before. But let's try it with this one too. Oop. Okay, I think that, yeah, and you can see there's like a green base with the underlying jelly for this polish that's giving that gold, or I'm sorry, that green cast that's there is covering it up. So in this case, let me see what I want to do. I think that I'm going to do a couple things. One is going to be to add a second coat. Next time I use this gin and berries, I probably need to add a little bit of thinner in here because it's getting, yeah, some thinner would help this to spread out a little bit more easily, but it's fine for now. Okay, so I'm gonna let this one dry for a second. And with this one here, I feel like the flakes that are in the Monarch are probably the one that will get me the closest to caramel apple pop. I want to test this out by, let's see what happens if I just add a second coat of this. Like, I'm curious to see if I add a second coat of the Monarch Fireside Secrets, will that still show me enough of the green flakes underneath or not? Yeah, no. This is not bad though. I mean, I do like this in the sense of having it give me some more depth there. I wasn't planning on doing this next step, but I'm actually curious to see what's going to happen if I were to put a black under this one. Not at all for the purposes of a dupe, but just for my own curiosity, because I see like this is not, you know, it would take a lot more coats of the flake polishes to give me opacity. And if I were to just, let me see, it was that one there. Put it on there. Ooh, okay. I often do this on my swatch wheels and sticks, where if I'm trying to see what a polish will look like with and without a cream underneath it, I'll just put the cream on half of it like I did there. And so you can see how this is really, really nice. I can definitely see myself wearing this combo at some point. And by the way, the black cream polish that I use is BCB Lacquer Void. Okay, last thing for this one here, we've got 2 coats of Gin and Berries, might be a gecko this size, a green flaky polish. And now I'm gonna add on 1 coat of the Monarch Lacquer Fireside Secrets. Okay, this I would say is actually getting me a lot closer to caramel apple pop than I thought I was going to be able to. And I think as I'm looking at this, as I'm looking at what I've done here and also at the swatch images of caramel apple pop, I had caramel apple pop on my wish list, but I don't really wear, okay, I wear green polish a lot, but not that green apple shade of green enough to where I feel the need to buy caramel apple pop. So for this one, I am going to be okay with removing caramel apple pop from my wish list for this month. And if I do ever feel the need to have this kind of combination, I know that I can get pretty close with this combination here. The next polish on my list for this month is BCB Lacquers Glitch, which is described as an espresso curly with pink, gold, orange flakes, green, purple, blue flakes, purple, blue flakes, and black flakes. So we've got pretty much every color of the rainbow in there with flakes, and we want to see what we can do to try to dupe that. To get things started, I have 3 swatches prepared with my black cream, BCB Lacquers Void, and I'm pulling in a number of different options for this one to see how this might go. I think probably the first one that stands out is most likely to be able to dupe this in some way is Mooncat's Chemical X. Which was part of their Powerpuff Girls collection, and it's just filled with so many different sparkly flakes. So I'm gonna put this one over the first black swatch and see what we get there. Okay, so I'm looking to see if I can get this color picked up correctly in the camera. It's you know, I put it over black because I know the opacity on its own, if I remember correctly with this one, doesn't really build up in just 1 or 2 coats. You kind of have to do it gradually. And with this being a limited edition polish that I don't think is available anymore, I'm using this very sparingly there. So we've got 1 coat of that Chemical X there. You know, I'm gonna make it just a little bit thicker for science to see what happens here. And I know that the description of Glitch says that it is an espresso crelly, which is why I've pulled out liquid smoke again for this to see if if I were to put this on top of what I've done here, will it give me that like espresso? It's that me espresso feeling there. So I'm gonna let this one sit for a bit. Moving on to the next one, I've pulled out from Cirque Colors Fantasia, which from my experience with using this one, I love using this as a way to really get some bright rainbow pops of color on top of a polish. So let's see how this goes for attempt number 2. Ooh. See, that's one of the reasons why I love doing this as a video, because like getting to share my genuine reactions to this, like that was not at all scripted. That was very much a ooh. Yeah, okay. And I think because Chemical X does have like a black jelly base in there potentially, that's why this one's going to be a little bit darker than what we see from the second one. But I do like where I'm going with this. Okay, what I'm gonna do next is also put Fantasia over my third black swatch here, because my goal for testing this next is going to see what I can get as the difference between putting on like a brown jelly crowley type polish over top of these, as opposed to a black one like sheer tint shadow. So let's see. Okay, we've got liquid smoke. I gotta say, I'm getting some good use out of liquid smoke already. And I just got this like maybe a couple weeks ago. Okay, so I'm gonna put liquid smoke on top of Chemical X, which again was on top of black already. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so if I'm again comparing this to the swatches of Glitch, I do see that this is looking very similar, actually. And if that one already is looking pretty similar, then I'm assuming that the next one's going to be even more so. So these two here, as a reminder, are black cream polish with Cirque Fantasia on top. I'm going to put liquid smoke on top, see what that does. Okay. I think this is actually very close to that. But it's looking close, but now I'm looking at this and thinking, I don't know if I like the brown on top of the rainbow like that, which considering that right now I'm just doing this as a can I dupe it attempt, it's no problem if I end up not liking this, because it's not like I bought the other polish that I'm like, oh no, now what do I do with the polish that I don't really like how it looks? So let me see. This is also why I pulled out the Emily Damali Sheer Tint Shadow, because I had a feeling that I might not have really liked the brown over the rainbow. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. That's really nice. I like that. Okay. The best way I can describe what that sheer tint shadow did was that it gave a little bit more of almost like a stained glass look to this. It's making it look like, it's, for one thing, it's helping to smooth out the flakes that are here. So almost being like what you would do with a glitter smoother, but also giving kind of like a black cast to this that dampens the brightness that was that initially came through with Fantasia. This, I think, is going to be my new favorite way to use Fantasia, honestly. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking what I'm also going to do in a note for editing, Olivia, is going to be to take some photos of these outdoors, like the winning swatch, so that you can, or outdoors, yeah, so that you can see what it looks like in other lighting there. So in short, if you are thinking of duping BCB Lacquers Glitch exactly for this month, I would go with this combination of a black cream polish with like a rainbow flaky on top, like Cirque's Fantasia, followed by a brown jelly or crowley like cracked polishes liquid smoke. However, if you're looking for something that's also pretty cool but has just that's different, do a black jelly on top and you'll get something like this. The next one that I'm going to try to dupe for this month is Arcana Lacquer's Chillin with My Chaos, which is described as having a light teal curly base with yellow-green shimmer. This is one I'm excited to do because I have this yellow shimmer topper from BCB Lacquers called Next Question, which I just got like maybe a week ago, and so I haven't yet had a chance to use it on anything, but I gotta say, like, the yellow shimmer on here is even more beautiful in person than I thought it was when I saw it on the website. I just haven't yet had a good excuse to use it for anything. So when I saw that this has Chillin with My Chaos has a yellow-green shimmer, I thought, well, here we go. So the 3 green polishes that I've pulled out to use with this that I've already pre-applied on the next 3 swatches here are crack polishes, I'm Jaded, which has like a crelly consistency, I would say. And the next 2 here are both shimmer polishes. This one is KB Shimmers Change of Plants. I always love a good pun polish name. I like this one a lot because it has it's very yellow green shimmer with some hollow, scattered hollow sprinkled throughout there. And then this one is more of, there's no hollow in this. This is a straight shimmer. This is Linby Designs. Earth Without Art is just which is from Polish and Beauty Expo VIP 2024. So I've got these 3 laid out here, and what I'm going to try to do is put BCB Lacquers Next Question on top of them to see what happens. So let's go. Okay, first up is I'm Jaded. Oh, I feel like that's gonna be my response to everything that I do on this channel. So please just get used to me having that kind of reaction. That's very close. I've got to say, of all the dupes that I've done so far for this video, this is by far got to be the one that seems the closest, and I haven't even done these 2 yet. I wouldn't be surprised if the Linby Designs Earth Without Art is just might be even closer because this one already has some shimmer into it, but let's try the next one as well. So this is over KB Shimmer Change of Plants. Okay, this one's not bad, but I think that because Change of Plants already has some yellow in its shimmer, adding more yellow shimmer on top of that makes the yellow dominate in a way that you don't end up seeing as much of the green, which, you know, isn't a horrible thing if, you know, you're looking for more of a yellowy polish that has a slight hint of green. But I as I'm looking again at the swatch of Chillin with My Chaos, that does have more of a green base, so this combo would not work for that. So lastly, for this one, I'm gonna put BCB Lacquers Next Question over the Linby Designs. Okay, I almost don't even see a difference there, and I think it's because the Linby Designs is already a shimmer. Like at certain angles, I can see the difference there, but it just kind of gets swallowed up. If anything, it makes it more sparkly, which is always fun. But of these 3 choices, I would say that the one that I would recommend going with for duping Chillin with My Chaos would be Crack Polishes I'm Jaded. And by the way, I did this in all 3 of these. The base I did for 3 coats, and then put on 1 coat of BCB Lacquers Next Question. And the final polish that I'm going to try to dupe for this month's HHC is from Baroness X, the Hanged Man. which is part of their tarot card inspired series. It's described as a turquoise magnetic polish that's in a clear base for layering, and it has a rainbow of iridescent flakes as well. In the swatch photos on the website, it's shown over a number of different polishes, including black, purple, and a deep blue. So for this, what I've done to prepare is to have 2 swatches of black, Bee's Knees Lacquer Void, and then 2 over here that have black cream polish, as well as KB Shimmer's Take It or Leave It that we used earlier in the video. Now with this, what I want to do is see if there is any kind of difference that happens if I do the magnetic polish first and then the flaky topper over it, versus starting with the flaky topper first and then putting magnetic polish over it. And I have 2 different light blue magnetic polishes in my collection that I'll be using today. The first one is Fancy Gloss Light Blue Magnetic Top Coat, and the second is ILNP VIP. And the magnet that I typically use for my magnetics is this neodymium bar magnet from SJ3 Designs. I like it a lot because you get all of the benefits of having that bar magnet, but also it's in a much it's got a handle to it, so it's a lot more comfortable to hold when you are needing to hold still for a not long time, but just for a while when you're doing magnetics. So let's go first with putting the Fancy Gloss Light Blue Magnetic Top Coat just over black. Okay. Just gonna magnetize that here. Now, typically what I would do if I were going to wear magnetic polish for real, I would go about magnetizing. I also use the DRK magic effect as part of my process, but for this test, I'm just going to use the simple magnetic polish like that. So that's the Fancy Gloss Light Blue Magnetic Top Coat. Now let's try the ILNP VIP. That's a lot of letters. Okay, so one of the differences here that I'm seeing is that VIP does have a little bit of some scattered hollow throughout there, which the Fancy Gloss one does not, but that's okay. All right, and now while that's drying, I'm going to move on to the 2 swatches where I already have put down black, followed by the flaky topper. So let's do the Fancy Gloss Light Blue Magnetic Top Coat first. Again, what I'm trying to see here is which combination of steps or which ordering is going to get me the better result that looks the closest to what's in the Baroness X polish. Is it going to be the case that I should do the flakes first and then the magnet, or vice versa? Okay. I know I said that I wasn't going to use my DRK top coat, but I think that I might end up doing that just so that it's more clear for me to see like that magnetic line. So I'm just gonna get my magnetic polishes on here first and then double back and do that. Okay. And so this is VIP over the flakies. Okay. I'm just gonna take a second for that. Generally when I do when I wear magnetic polish, I will okay, well, I guess I'll talk about what I do as my process, like with what I'm wearing here. So this, I started with a 1 coat of Essie Wicked, like a super dark, almost black, oh, I think I have it on my table still, super dark, almost black, purple cream polish here, Wicked. And then I followed that up with the magnetic polish, which in this case is Potion Polish Drunk Witch. You can see how it magnetizes here. What I then do is, after that, I add on, so the magic effect, when you buy it, it's clear, but because of how often I've used it and how it tends to pick up a little bit of the color that you put it on top of, that's why mine looks dark purple at the moment. But in my experience, this color does not transfer back to any other polish that you use it on from that point forward. So I'll show you how I use it in my process here. So like I do the magnetic polish, and then I will put on the magic effect. Now, the way that I use it differs a little bit from the instructions in the package or on the website. I believe the website instructions for this product say to just put a couple drops on there and spread it around, but the way I prefer to do it is completely oversaturated with that. And you'll see how, let me put just a little bit more here. The reason I'm doing this is that you want to make sure that it's like really wetting that magnetic polish again, and that, from my understanding, makes it so that the magnetic polish is able to be a little bit more responsive to the magnet that you're using with it, compared to when it's just on its own. So yeah, the reason I'm doing this here, I know not everyone who's watching this may be using magic effect, but by no means is it a requirement for using magnetic polish. But for me, because it is a product that I use every time that I wear magnetic polish, it's something that if I'm trying to make a decision about whether or not I want to buy another magnetic polish or dupe it from what I've already got, I want to try to simulate the conditions as closely as I can based on how I personally would actually be using that. So you can see the difference there with the light blue magnetic top coat already, just how much snappier that was. So it's going to do the same thing for VIP. And I know magnetic polish is not for everyone, and I'll admit myself, as much as I love and often use magnetic polishes, it's definitely the kind of thing where I will only wear a magnetic polish if I really have the time to sit down and do it. And I look at it as something that's very calming and meditative for me. Like if I've had a really stressful day at work, or I just need to decompress and I've got like an hour or so in the evening, I'll say, okay, it's magnetic time. Also, I'm just being mindful of how making sure that, like, as I'm holding the magnet, that it won't let the other one be affected. But okay. Now let's go to the ones that I've already put the flaky topper over, or no, the flaky topper was under there. I know that sounds a little strange, topper under. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that's sort of getting there. Just from what I'm seeing here, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna get a better result for what I want compared to the Hanged Man when I do the flakes on top of the magnetic. I think that this flakes underneath approach is something that's a very lovely effect that I've actually done quite a bit lately with like some of my more sheer bee's knees lacquer magnetic polishes. But in this case, if I want the kind of effect where the flakes themselves are a lot more prominent and not so much that like jelly pond effect, I think that I'm gonna have better results with putting the flakes on top. But we'll see in a moment. So yeah, just using magic effect here on top of VIP. Yeah, and I can see here already that the line is becoming more crisp, which is nice, but I'm not seeing those flakes pop out nearly as much as when I would probably put them on top. You see that? It's like they're there, but they're not like bam, flakes in your face. So last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to these two. I'm gonna put the flake topper on top. And something that I personally like to do every time that I'm working with a magnetic polish, anytime that I put something on top of it, I always just magnetize it again. I know it takes more time. And sometimes it doesn't even make that much of a difference with the line, but I believe that it does show somewhat of a difference, and I think that anytime you put down additional polish, you are like re-wetting what's underneath, so it doesn't hurt just to put that on there. Okay, that's pretty close. Let me put it on top of VIP. In this case, I mean, I think with the VIP, that blue magnetic line has almost disappeared underneath this. I'm not sure how much that would change if I were to have put maybe 2 coats of VIP down and magnetized them both, but okay. So let's recap here. Based on what I'm seeing and what I'm comparing to the Baroness X polish for this month's HHC, I think that these two are going to be the closer ones in terms of like having the visibility of, well, no, I'm going back and forth now. It's tough to say. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I kind of like this one the best, the third one here. This one that has the starting with a black cream polish, followed by the KB shimmer, take it or leave it, and then with the DRK, with the fancy gloss light blue magnetic top coat over that, followed by the DRK magic effect. As I'm looking at this one seems to actually be giving me a lot more of the balance of having the flakes behind, but also still visible enough. Whereas with these, I can see a lot more of the flakes and not as much of the magnetic. Whereas like if I'm gonna be taking the time to do a magnetic polish, I want to still see the magnetic line. So with that in mind, the fancy gloss one is the winner. These are the dupe attempts that I put together for this month's HHC. I'm going to be taking some pictures or video of these in outdoor lighting so that you can see the difference. But I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm looking forward to doing it again soon. So please like, subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos coming up. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.